Hey everybody, it's Marcia, and I'm back today with another scrapbook process video for My Creative Scrapbook. So today I'm playing around with these powders. They're called Magicals from Lindy's Stamp Gang. And I'm using a couple different colors from the Jingle Bell set. I'm using a Silent Night Silver and a Frolic in the Forest, kind of maybe a darker gray silver. Um, and what you do is I'm just sprinkling a little bit down on my plain white cardstock, and then you just spritz them with water, and it is so cool. It's like magic. You see all these beautiful different colors, and I'm blending it a little bit with a brush, and then I let it dry, and I like to run it through my Mink, or you can do any laminator to help get it to lay flat again once it's dry. So this stencil came in the My Creative Scrapbook main kit. This is part of the Vicki Boutin Let's Wander collection. And I wanted to play around with some of her CreativeFx glaze. And this one that I'm using is an iridescent glaze. This really is gorgeous. It has a shimmer to it, so it's like a really light, I would maybe say pearl, and it's got this really pretty shimmer to it. So I'm trying to like recreate a night sky here for some travel picture that we have from Berlin at night, and I wanted it to look like a night sky. So that's why I have the darker watercolors on my background too, to imitate that night sky. And then this really pretty silver stars, really glimmery iridescent silver stars on here. So when you're stenciling, be careful to keep your stencil flat to the paper. You saw me very carefully holding it all down. If you don't hold it flat to the paper, you may get some seepage underneath the stencil, and you don't really want that. So I let it dry, and then I really thought I needed some pattern paper on my background and not just put a photo down on here with embellishments. So I thought, since I am scrapping a photo of the Friedrichstadt Palast, it's this awesome theater in Berlin, and it was really close to our hotel. And we decided that we wanted to see a show. And so we saw this Vivid Grand show, and it was the most amazing thing I have ever seen. I have seen Cirque du Soleil shows before, and this was like that, only it was even more awesome than that. This theater is, I think, the largest stage in Europe. It was amazing. So if you are ever in Berlin, you need to go to this theater and see a show. It is really out of this world. All right, so I am playing around with some of the chipboard and stickers and die-cut ephemera pieces. And you see me now, I have this pattern paper up the side of my layout instead of at the bottom. I had originally thought, okay, I'm going to put it at the bottom, but then I really didn't like how stuff was looking. So I flipped it to the side and started playing around with where I wanted my embellishments to go. And I like this much better because I have that bright color on the side, and then most of my embellishments are going to be on the opposite side. And it really brings out all of the colors of those buildings, and then I have all those colors in that pattern paper on the side too, and it kind of blends it all in nicely. So I really like this die-cut ephemera camera on that I stuck up in the upper right. It kind of balances out my embellishments, but I don't like that that tab is sticking over my journaling. I want to be able to read my journaling still. Um, I like the travel for title, so I want to do, I think, Travel Berlin on here. So I'm putting some foam adhesive down on here to pop it up a little bit because my photo is already popped up with some foam adhesive. So this is going to overlap over my photo and the background. So I need to pop it up a little bit to get it to lay even. Um, yeah, so there were also no alphas that were in this kit. So I dug out some of my Pink Fresh Studio alphas. They're smaller, puffy sticker alphas, and they work really well for combining with these die cut F mirror pieces for titles. So I, instead of just travel, I can add a location and I can say Travel Berlin. So I'm gluing down, there's this vellum map piece I'm tucking in there behind my camera. And I just decided I need to do something about that tab. So I pulled out a corner punch, and I thought it would help me to cut that off but still leave a rounded edge on it. And it did. It helped. I had to punch it a few times to get it the length that I wanted. And then I went back and I touched that up with a scissors just a little bit because I wanted it to look a little bit more rounded. And I like that look so much better. And then I'm going to pop this up with a little bit of foam adhesive as well. Alright, so I am going to add my Berlin title now with some Pink Fresh alphas. I arrange these on a ruler first so that I can move them around wherever I want them to go. And then I'm going to see what other of the chipboard and cardstock stickers I want to add on here. So let me tell you a little bit more about this trip that my daughter and I we took 3 weeks to travel to different destinations in Europe in 2018. It was like October, I think. So it was after Oktoberfest, so we didn't run into any of that crowd. But Berlin was our final destination. And I did not think when we were planning our trip that I would like Berlin very much. I don't know why I thought that. But you know, Berlin was surprising to me. I loved it. It is very, the people there were very political. They want to change the world. You know, they see social injustice being done, and there are demonstrations. And we were at the Brandenburg Gate one day, and there was a demonstration, and all these paddy wagons came in, and they were carting demonstrators off in these paddy wagons. And I just thought, that is so cool to see that they care so much to want to change the social injustice that they see, that they would do this. And it really kind of, the riots in Minnesota, where I live, it really kind of hit home for that as well, because people turned out in droves because they saw this injustice being done, and you can't stay silent. You have to do something. And not to the extent maybe that we had the rioting, but people felt like they had to get out and say that that was wrong. Black lives matter. They should not be killed by the police in the numbers that they are. Something has to change. All right. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there for you. I'm sorry, but things are still very fresh and raw in my mind here. But anyway, here's my layout. I'm almost done. I'm adding a few more pieces, a few more die cuts and chipboard pieces, and that's my layout. I love this Vicki Boutin collection. It is absolutely fantastic. I haven't had so much fun making layouts in such a long time. Please check out the other kits that they have as well. Thanks so much. Bye bye now.